Hey, what's up? Got Nile Horn shirt on because why not? Off brand. But I I literally just took a shower and I was sitting in like the shower thing, whatever, and I was just like, it just very like very strong opinions or just very like I was just feeling like a lot about like thinking about what I've hear, what I've been around or whatever, and a lot of it boils down to the fact that there's this thing with anytime that you do something that deviates in life, like literally anything, it doesn't have to be like career, where you're living or who you're with or this or that. Anytime you do anything that deviates, it's always like a thing. But when you don't, it's nothing. And it kind of it kind of f's my mind up because I'm like, as people, as humans, as whatever, don't we shouldn't we want like change or like stuff to be different, stuff to like so that we're not all doing the same thing, so we're not robotic, so that we're not all. So there's always like new, like it kind of messes with my head because I just have these all these experiences where it's not necessarily people are like going after me or anything or whatever, so like that, but that I see things or like you do stuff, and people, and a lot of times there's just these routines or these things where we just get caught up in the same shit over and over again. We do the same stuff, say the same stuff, and expect a different result for some reason. And then so when you like try to do something different, but when you try to do something different, when someone does, they're like criticize or people will say this or that about them when they're trying to do something to not be in that cycle. And I realize that going through like just being in a rut, being in a situation where you don't feel anything, I've it's kind of prompted me to try and do different stuff. And while that not necessarily like a criticism and all that stuff, whatever, it's how it goes. But it's it's I've I just I felt like it's been tough a lot of times to like connect on it because a lot of people are just confused by it, like why are you doing this or that or whatever, so like that, like family or whatever. So like you can't really explain it, and I'm like, why is it that way? Like why is it that being different or doing anything different, whether you're even trying to or not, why is that like a bad thing? Like shouldn't that be the good thing? And then staying in the rut, staying in those cycles, shouldn't that be a thing? Like we're like, hey, encourage people. And a lot of people do. Like they say like, hey, like be great, do this and that. But then when you're around people and stuff like that and you try to do something like that, you're automatically like it's like it like puts a spotlight on you. And I'm like, it confuses me a lot because it's like it because it feels better internally, like at least for me or whatever. I've had more peace when I've done stuff that scares me and that isn't comfortable. So shouldn't that be the stuff that we're encouraged, like that we're like pushing, like people to do stuff? Obviously, don't do crazy stuff, or anything like that. But like if someone wants to do something different, shouldn't that be like an encouraged thing versus it being like a whole thing about oh they're whatever stuff like that? Like it, it it just seems so weird to me. Like I think about it, like we have all these confinements, all this stuff. We're literally just specks on a thing in the middle of space, and yet we have all these confinements and rules, and oh you can't be, or you can't do this and that, and like just by not doing X Y Z, like not living in the same place, or like just doing this, like it's so weird to me. Like while we're here, why don't we like? Why is it that doing the best and like trying to do the best that we can, like, why is that like a crazy thing? It confuses me. And maybe it's fear, maybe it's like insecurities and all that stuff that make it seem like a crazy thing. And I didn't think I didn't think of myself at all for most of my life. I didn't think it wasn't that I didn't think I'd be anything. I just wasn't. I never thought I was anything. I never thought it was even a thing that to think about. So then the second I started trying to do stuff or trying to do anything, it's just like suddenly it's like it's there's something I don't know. I just noticed a thing where it's like the more you do stuff that's not like within the expected, the it almost makes you like I don't know. You feel a little weird. It feels a little weird, and I don't know. It's kind of like messed with my brain a lot because I've like there's been stuff like I've heard from whatever like where like why aren't you like why aren't you like everyone else? Or, oh, like, I wish you just were normal or whatever. So, like, I've heard like little stuff like that. And it's like, I just think, why? Like, why in the hell what, should I be just normal? Just do everything else everyone else does. Like, what? Like, why? Why do I want a stable, just generic life? Like, why? Like, why is that? Okay, if I'm that one in the trillion that made it and I'm living this life and, oh, F it, dad died. Oh, F it, this happened. Like, no relationship, no nothing. I'm 23. So all that stuff is like whatever, but then wanting to do anything, then suddenly, like, why are you like, it shocks me because if we had like a bunch of lies, like if we lived like 40 lies and stuff like that, it can make more sense. I'd be like, okay, this is life like seven. Maybe I caused a few world wars in the past few, and they're like, okay, trying to stop another world war from happening. And they're like, hey, don't do this because it will lead to. Like, I can understand that, but with the one life thing, it kind of confuses me because eventually we go through this process, we age up to the point, and then we die. So it's like if you don't try this stuff, it only gets harder and harder to not to do the things as you get older. So then eventually you get to a point where you can't even do the things that you were eventually that you wanted to do or that you're too scared to do. And then you have these regrets and have these things because you never tried the thing or did the thing. And it's like I don't want to go to my grave like that, like where I have these regrets and stuff like that. But then going after and doing the thing to not have those regrets is like a bad thing. Is like a whatever. It's something that I've constantly found myself going back to a lot, and I don't usually go back to things that much. But it's like it's so strange to me because there's all these stories and you see these great successes of people, and it's never from them just doing the normal thing. It's never from them just being like everyone else. It's never from that makes someone greater to us. Like it's not like someone like I don't know like Harry Styles or whatever just came to mind, or like you say like you throw in like yeah, yeah, well, like Taylor Swift, or you could throw in like an actor like I don't know De Niro. I don't know. It's not like like you don't get to a place like that by just doing the exact same thing. Because if they all you guys do the exact same thing, De Niro might be like an accountant, like that retired when he was like 70, lived in like a beach house in like South Carolina or something like that, and Harry Styles would be at his bakery still, and then Taylor would be in Tennessee selling cowboy boots. I don't know. Like if they just did that, then they would just be that. Like you could say like the painters or whatever. So like Leonardo da Vinci or Paulo Picasso. Maybe they were working at like a bookstore or something. I don't know. I don't know what was around then. It it's so weird. Like we like to actively be like see like we see people that do these things and stuff like that, but because because you haven't done it yet or haven't you whatever, it's suddenly like it's like a crazy thing to want to do that thing. It just I'm like what the hell? Like what in the hell? Like why is it a thought? Why is that the thought? Like why is it the thought that that's not a thing that should be done if you have the desire to do so? It like what? 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 Why is it the normal thing to do the normal thing? Why is that the normal thing? Like what? Why? Like what? How did it even happen? How is the normal thing even the normal thing in the first place? Like shouldn't everyone like you would think have their own like unique way of doing life and all that stuff, or at least be striving to get to that point? Like I don't know. I'm like I'm so confused by it, and I can't even think of anyone in my life before me, like in my family and stuff that would make me feel this way and think this way because just everyone kind of just did whatever they kind of did or whatever. But I just can't get over it. I don't know if anyone else is out there and you're kind of in a similar boat, but not being like everyone else just it is what I do because we all shouldn't be like everyone else. Like everyone else should be different than me. Like I everyone should be different. And I think this all these fears and insecurities and wanting to be comfortable and wanting to stay safe, it kind of keeps everyone in this bubble to where we're too scared to actually be ourselves or do whatever. And maybe we do, maybe we don't. but we don't do the things in order to get the stuff that we really want, and we kind of just put that on the back burner and never do it, and kind of just compromise and live a life like we whatever. Like you get a family that you're like, okay, yeah, I like her enough. I like her enough. I like him enough. I can see myself with them. And you get married, you're like, oh, this job is whatever. I can do it. And I mean, and you're like, oh, I like this place. It's not amazing, but I can live with it. Like it's like, why are those things a thing? We all die. What in the hell? Like genuinely, what in the hell is this? We're not like. I'm not saying to be great. I'm not saying, oh, like I'm not advocating for everyone to be a singer, or actor, or like professional sports player and stuff. Like just in anything, in what you truly love to do. Why don't you try like just do the things to get there and be great in that? If be great in accounting is your thing, be great in that. But if you're not doing something, you're not in a relationship, if you're not whatever that you feel is like, then there's something out there. And so it's like, if there's something out there, why don't we chase it or at least try? Like, why is the hell is expectation to be like everyone else? That should it shouldn't be then. It should be that the expectation is to be the best version of ourselves, whatever that means, and go strive after that until we. It shouldn't be to be the normal version of ourselves or half decent or good enough version. Nah, fuck that. And I'll use my little curse there. F that. No, no. Just be your best. Don't if being like everyone else is so old fashioned. Like just be the best version of yourself, whatever that may be, and don't be scared. Take those risks, take those leap of faith, and yeah, love you. Have a nice day. Subscribe if you want, I guess.